I realized something was wrong when my dog stopped at the edge of the yard and refused to move, not because of fear, because the ground was no longer mine. Overnight, bright wooden stakes had appeared in the grass. Pink tape, spray paint, a clean straight line cutting through the place where my kids used to play catch. And right beyond it, fresh concrete. I hadn't sold anything. I hadn't signed anything, but according to my new HOA, that didn't matter. I'd inherited this house from my uncle, a quiet man who believed land was security. He paid it off early. Never trusted banks. Never trusted people who smiled too much. Turns out, he was right. 2 months after I moved in, the HOA announced a community improvement project. New walkways, shared green spaces, increased property value. Everyone applauded until construction crept closer and closer and finally onto my yard. When I confronted the HOA board, they were prepared. Color maps, updated plats, a consultant explaining that my property line had been adjusted years ago. I'd been out of state at the time. The HOA president told me it was a clerical correction. Barely noticeable. Only a few feet. She said fighting it would be expensive and uncomfortable. That was the threat. I hired my own surveyor. He went quiet halfway through measuring. Then he asked if I knew the HOA's map was based on a draft proposal that was never approved. That was the first crack. I requested records, old minutes, voting logs. That's when the pattern emerged. 3 homeowners before me had lost small pieces of land, all quietly, all without lawsuits, all after receiving violations and fines, until they gave up. This wasn't landscaping, it was pressure. At the next HOA meeting, they tried to rush a vote authorizing permanent construction. I stood up and asked one question. Why did the HOA's boundary change documents use a city stamp that was retired 5 years earlier? The room froze. Someone left, someone else started whispering. 2 weeks later, my attorney filed an injunction. Construction stopped mid-pour. The HOA president resigned for personal reasons, and the city opened an investigation. Turns out, the consultant worked exclusively with HOAs accused of boundary manipulation. Turns out, those maps had helped shift thousands of square feet across the neighborhood, all illegally. The court ordered everything removed. Sidewalks jackhammered, soil restored, markers pulled out like weeds. Today my yard is quiet again. Grass growing where concrete tried to settle, and every time my dog runs the full length of it, I think about how close I came to losing something I never agreed to give up, because sometimes the most dangerous thing an HOA can do is assume you won't fight back.